Okay. So, after a decent wait of a few weeks, we are back in it. We are ready to go. And this is it. A new season, a new game, and let's get this show on the road. So, this is RPL F1 Season 9, the season opener of 22 races on the calendar, and we are kicking it off with a track that has not been around as a season opener since Season 7. It's only appeared twice before. Season 7. Yeah, Season 7 in F1, and again in Season 2. Oh wait, also it was the season opener Season 1. So this is the fourth time in RPL F1 history that this has happened. We are in Albert Park in Australia, and we also have a new track, a slightly altered track than what it was back in Season 8 and in Season 7. Only noted differences is that we have 4 DRS zones. That's pretty much what it is. So, per usual, Ty and Ironwolf on deck for commentary duties for today. And this is what we have. So we currently have right now 19 drivers taking part. We will have a 20th showing up a little bit later on. But here we go, as the drivers are just getting themselves set and ready to go to figure out what is going on here. Let's see if anyone's coming out onto the track. Looks like a couple people are coming out. But anyways, let's take a look at the drivers that are involved in for tonight's event. So we do have a couple lone drivers, some returns, and other stuff like that. So, kicking it off, we have Bourbon in the Alpha Tauri. There's Beatnik. Beatnik is joined in. He is in the other Aston. So next up, we have Stenner in Alfa Romeo. Cryptic in Mercedes. Fanflow coming out on track. He is in Haas. Boss Cookie, Aston Martin. Lewis Piper, McLaren. Zakaria in Williams. Kieran, who has a quality band to serve. He's on his recon lap. He's in the Alpine. Darius in Ferrari. Adds second in the second AlphaTauri. Owen in Williams. Will on loan. He is in the Haas. AFJ, a.k.a. Alex Fox Johnson in the Mercedes. Reese, Red Bull. Red Fire, McLaren. Tadpole on loan, Ferrari. Flaw, Alpine. TB, Red Bull. And Jack rounding out in Alfa Romeo. So, let's take a look at the field. Let's take a look at our group. Let's see who's going to make their first run. AFJ was on the Inters, but let's go on board with Reese. Last season's runner-up. Looking to make a strong impression in Season 9. Looking to be one of the heavy favorites. Gets a little loose out of turn 2. Now rocks his way down in through DRS zone number 1. As he heads down right into turn number 3. Nice and easy on that throttle, up to turn 4. Getting it nice and slick there. Flat out up to turn 5. Nice and easy through. Now up into 6 and 7. Working his way down. Now on through turn 8. This is DRS zone number 2. Now coming up to the fascia chicane of turns 9 and 10. 203 miles an hour through there. Nice and easy there. In the DRS zone number 3. As he rockets his way there. Whoa! There goes Alex Fox. A little spin. I'll fix that in a sec. His voice is a little low because of this. Into the last couple of corners. Through 11, 12. Into 13 and 14. Down DRS zone number 4. see what Reese is going to have for a benchmark. And it is an 18-0 for the Red Bull. Okay, so let me get the audio fixed here, because that was a little loud there. Other cars, voice chat. Do. See if that works. Nah, that's a little low. That's a little low, actually. Well, to get that figured out, but anyways, TB 17-4 to kick it off. Zakaria 18-6. Will 18-9. Fanflo and AFJ gonna be trying again. And what the heck is going on with these audio settings? Let's try this. I think that's better. Oh, someone off. That's AFJ. And that's AFJ off in turn number 2, and that is his qualifying done. Okay, looks like I'm gonna have to monkey around with some of these settings because I'm trying to get the frickin' thing right. See if this works. Maybe this is good. It looks good to me. Okay. Let's see. Some more drivers are filing in to get some laps in. We have Rev Fire currently on a lap. Now, Rev Fire, by the way, just missed out on the top 10 in points last season. Wound up getting himself into 11th last season. Apparently, game glitched him into a wall. Oh, rip AFJ. Yeah, rip AFJ for that one. But yeah, Rev Fire, actually, he was 12th, actually, so he still missed out. But, 7th place, 19-2, not bad there. Boss Cookie's still 18-6. But in regards to his time, currently at the moment, he is about 13 milliseconds behind Zakaria in the Williams. But then again, his best lap was on the medium compound tires. Meanwhile, Bourbon's about to start his lap. Ads is going to complete his. Let's see as Ads comes across the line. And it is 19-3, puts him 8th fastest. So we have 2 drivers out from Q1 at this moment. We have AFJ, who crashed out in turn number 2. Then there was Kieran, who served his first of 3 quali bans after wild and insane antics that he caused in the finale in Abu Dhabi. But now we're on board with Flaw. a one-time winner in RPL F1, won his first race in Tier 1 in Japan. Looking to ride high on that train. See if he can get some really great points, and who knows, maybe a podium, maybe a win. You never know. I mean, Season 8 was full of surprises. I wouldn't be surprised if we have even more surprises for this season. Anyways, AFJ comes across the line, and oh my goodness, look at that. Almost an 18 flat. And it puts him third fastest. Yeah, puts him third fastest. About 0.03 of a second clear Reese. And only 0.02 down from the second place of the Chiller. The Chiller in second right now with that 17.9. Next up, oh, it's not Bourbon. Bourbon's just starting his. Tadpole's on deck with his. Let's go on board with Tadpole. Tadpole in Tier 2, Alpine, did pretty good yesterday as he makes his way through, working his way. As he heads up into turns 9 and 10, gets it right about to where Reese was, about 204 miles an hour. That's what Reese had into the fast chicane. Pace is pretty much equal into that entry, but the entry that he wanted doing wasn't as strong as Reese's was. But as he comes around, it looks like Bourbon has gone for a spin out of the fast chicane. So Bourbon is going to have to restart his lap. Anyways, here comes Tadpole across the line. 17.4 was the answer. And Tadpole, a 18.6, a millisecond behind Cookie. Only puts Tadpole 7th fastest, but to be fair, that fast chicane did mess him up just a bit. So he may have to try. He'll probably try again a little later on, but I think if push comes to shove, Tadpole could have found at least another few tenths of a second, maybe more. Anyway, so Stenner coming across the line now. 19.5, that would have put him 14th, but unfortunately he invalidated, so he's going to have to try again. Lewis Piper, another driver who has a win to his credit. Won in Monza after Reese and TB collided in the first variant, and that gave Lewis Piper the opportunity to claim one of the biggest wins and biggest shocks of the Season 8. Let's see what Lewis Piper is willing to do. His teammate Red Fire is only 11th in Q1. His teammates in his academy are currently fourth. And it looks like Williams got really evil. And look, there's an Aston Martin getting out of the way. Looks like a Red Bull up ahead. Is that a Red Bull up ahead, or is that a Williams? That is a Red Bull. That is Reese that went back to the pits. And Tadpole goes wide and kisses the wall on the outside. And his time, 18.7. That would have put him 9th fastest. But unfortunately, because of where he went off, that lap is invalidated. And his next one is also done. So Lewis Piper, unfortunately, is going to have to retry again. Let's take a look at some others. Let's see. We got Fat Flow out. He's about 0.7 up. So, I mean, right now it's still going to be 14th, but he's going to have an even bigger buffer by the looks of it. Anyways, here he comes across the line, and it is 19.1. That puts him 11th fastest. Owen is currently running through now. He's currently 14th. With a 19.4, but he's over 0.2 up, so that's gonna put him right around P12. Zakaria is still hanging on strong in that 5th place position. As Beatnik also goes in the 9th in that Aston Martin. Looks like Owen has decided to back off. I guess he invalidated somewhere. That's not good there. And Cryptic was put in the 6th place with an 18-1, but then Boss Cookie responded with 3rd with a 17-8. So Cookie currently a 10th off of Reese in Q1 and 4/10 off of TB. So in a slight sense, Red Bull with Reese and TB given their gaps, is it possible TB is Max and Reese is Checo? That'd be really unfortunate, but in my opinion, I don't think that. I think these two are just equal on pace together, that they could probably be trading wins back and forth between the two. Let's just hope the two of them don't come to blows like TB and Jacob did last season. Anyways, here comes Bourbon out of the final corner. He's one of 3 yet to set a lap, and here he comes, and it is 7th fastest with an 18.6. So, in this sense, this is going to currently, at the moment, put Owen at the bottom, and the bottom 5. Stenner and Lewis Piper are also in the bottom 5. But I will admit, even though those guys are in the bottom 5, Ads, Red Fire, Fanflow, and Jack, they're not safe. Because literally with Jack's time to Owen, it's only a 3/10 of a second gap between those guys. Ooh, that was close. That was close by Jack. Got a little loose, but kept it together. And looks like Stenner is out on track. There's Lewis Piper, I believe. Yep, there's Lewis Piper right there. And Jack, unfortunately goes wide, and he has invalidated time. But if he is careful, he should be able to make it. He should be able to make it around and try for one last-ditch effort lap. And Owen has invalidated too, and I don't know if he's gonna make it in time to get another lap in. Ads is just starting his. Zakaria has just begun his. Tadpole about to start his. Yeah, quite a few drivers starting their times. Beatnik has called it. He's 11th, so he thinks he may have done enough. Like I said, I think he should be okay. But like I said, from 12th to 15th, they're not safe. Especially with 2 drivers yet to get a lap in, and 1 driver being within a 10th of the 15th place car. But anyways, here we go. Let's see. Can Owen make it in time? Looks like he will. Yeah, Owen will make it in time. That's good for him. So looks like when the checker flag flies, it's going to be Ads that will be the first across the line. He is P15. Let's see what kind of a lap he's got as he comes across. And it is 12th fastest, 18.8. So that's that for there. Jack is out. There comes Stenner. He's just keeping in the lines. He's okay. Looks like next is Zakaria. Zakaria was P8, but let's see how much further he's going to go up. And he goes 7th. Tadpole invalidates, but he is safe enough to Q2. Next up is going to be Stenner. Fatflow right behind. Stenner opens it up wide, heading down the straight, and it is 11th fastest. Fanflow comes across, goes in the 9th fastest. Red Fire has invalidated, so Red Fire is eliminated from Q1. Lewis Piper goes to 15th. Can Owen deny it? As he comes across the line. And it is 13th. Wow. So Kieran, Alex Fox, the McLarens of Piper and Red Fire and Jack are eliminated. And check this out. Ads and Piper, 1 millisecond separates the two of them. So Lewis Piper just misses out on Q2 by 1 millisecond. 1 millisecond. Jeez. And Cookie just goes, "What's McLaren cooking?" And AFJ just goes, and the crowd goes home. But there it is. So the Red Bulls, TB and Reese on top from Q1, with Boss Cookie to wrap up the top 3. And as said, Kieran serving his quality band. AFJ crashed in turn 2, and as slowest times, Red Fire, Jack, and Lewis Piper. So that's it for Q number 1. We'll then move on into Q number 2. Okay, so here we go, the start of Q number 2. And let's see who is out first. Looks like in this case, first driver out is going to be Zakaria. The chiller right behind, and more cars filing on out. Fanflow, Will, Flaw, Beatnik. Quite a few. So, well, let's see. Who do I think is going to be knocked out of Q2? I think for those that are going to be knocked out of Q2, I'm going to say, and this is going to be slightly controversial, but I think one of the Williams, and I'm thinking that Williams is going to be Owen. He is going to be knocked out. I think Stenner is going to just miss out. Yeah, I think, yeah, so Owen, Stenner. I'm going to say ads. Oh, Fanflow's crashed. So, at least there's one. There's one of my guesses. So, Fanflow is confirmed out. But yeah, like I said, so Owen, Stenner, Ads. As for the fourth, I think it's a toss-up between Bourbon, Will, and Flaw. Because I think in Zacaria's case, given what he's done in Q1, I think Zacaria's got the capability. Well, if he didn't do stuff like that, but I think Zacaria's got the capability to put that Williams into Q3. I think Zacaria's got that capability. Anyway, so let's move on to the Chiller. Let's see what he's got for the benchmark. As he comes across the line to kick things off. And it is an 18.3 in that Ferrari. Flaw comes in, 18.7. Here comes Will with a 19.1. Next up is Beatnik. 19.3. Boss Cookie's gonna start his timed lap. TB's just starting his run. Is he starting his run? Nope, actually no, he's actually going up. Jeez, a full second clear. There goes Tadpole. Tadpole only a 19.2. So as these drivers are working their way through, let's see who's next. Well, not Ads. Ads has invalidated. Boss Cookie out on another medium lap. Okay. Well, looks like Owen's going off in turn 3. Zacaria's out on an out lap. So Boss Cookie out once again on the medium compound tire. And the time he's going to set is a 19.4. And TB has called it after one lap. He's definitely believed he's done enough. Ads is coming back to the pits. Well, didn't expect this in qualifying. A little bit of racing between the Williams pair. I think they're trying to figure out which one was going to be going first on their lap. It looks like it's Zacaria's case, so he was going to let Owen go, but Owen then went off into the gravel in turn 11. Well, let's see what Zaccaria is capable of. He did have a slip up and invalidated in turn 12. Let's see what he's got. I'm easily predicting. I'm thinking Zaccaria can put that car into the top 10 and put that Williams into Q3. I think he's got it. I think he has the capability to get it done. So let's get this a look as he works his way down the gears. Working the throttle input. Nice and full out. Into the dip hill, into the dips. Working his way through. Putting that power down. Look at that, he's just maxing out those rests. 12,000 RPMs into turn 9 and 10, about 203. Out of the chicane very quickly. Rockets his way down. Cryptic goes into second place with a 18.0. Comes out. As the courier comes out of the final corner and rockets his way through, and it is fourth fastest, 18.5. As more cars are working on with their laps, Reese goes very wide out of 11, but just keeps that car on the track limits. So he comes out through 11 and 12. As he heads into the penultimate corners, works his way through. Bourbon Cross? No, that was... Yeah, it was Bourbon. He's just starting a new lap. Well, Reese just goes second fastest, 17.5. And with only 3 cars yet to set a lap, as Owen has cut the track. He's got a wing missing. Anyways, Bourbon starting his lap. So Bourbon, Ads, and Owen are 3 yet to set a lap. And currently, one driver that has a time that's currently in the bottom, well, now 4, is Boss Cookie. Looks like Beatnik just improved his time. He went up to 5th fastest. Let's see what happens next. Well, Bourbon has abandoned his lap. He's going back in. Boss Cookie on a new lap. He's getting some help from his teammate Beatnik. Nice help in that DRS toe. Rockets his way over. Now into the last couple of corners. This time is looking really, really strong. Now, Boss Cookie was 3rd in Q1. I think with this time he's going to be pulling, I think he could maybe beat Reese. It's possible. Here he comes across the line, and it is 200s down from TV. 17,464. I mean, TB currently on top of Q2 with a 17,444. Also, Tadpole improved to 7th fastest with an 18.3. But so Bourbon is back out on a lap. Ads is back out as well. Owen yet to get into a lap as well. So as we move on and get things ready to go. So only just under 3 minutes left of Q number 2. And we had the Red Bulls that are all set with their run. Chiller has called it as well. Cryptic and Boss Cookie's second. He's still out on track. But those 5 are most likely, they're safe going through. And with 2.5 minutes to go, we have 3 drivers yet to set a lap, being the Alpha Tauris of Bourbon and Ads, and the Williams of Owen. Stenner is currently in the bottom 5. And then we have Flaw, Zakaria, and Will. Because Flaw and Zakaria. Now, if I had to think this through, I think even if they improved their times, I think in this case, I think Flaw and Zakaria might have to go out to get another lap done. And I think to play it safe, Will and Tadpole should as well, because I think even if they improve, I mean those 2 Ferrari cars are going to be at risk of being knocked out. Flaw is currently out on track, and he's already 3/10 up, so that's going to put him in 9th place right now. Ads and Owen. Well, Owen's invalidated, so he's gonna have to try again. Ads has invalidation, so he is gonna have to give it one more go. Bourbon just invalidated, so he has one last shot, and he's just gone off in the final corner, and that's the end of Bourbon. So Bourbon, no time, he is done. Flaw currently on his way around. Didn't see how quick he was in Sector 2, but he was clear enough to get past Zakaria as he comes across the line now, and it is 3rd fastest. So Ads and Owen are gonna be trying again. Will has invalidated 2, so he's got at least one more chance to get a time in. Williams right behind Tadpole, but Tadpole off and away. And Bourbon is done. Will is in the pits. He's 9th fastest, so he's just got to hope that he can stay in the top 10. And Stenner has invalidated, so Stenner is also out of Q2. So this is going to fall on Owen and Ads to try to upset. So Tadpole should be okay and safe if Zakaria doesn't improve his time. So here comes Zakaria across the line, and it is 10th fastest. So Tadpole is going to be safe. Owen has crashed. So now can Zakaria be safe as well? Oh, Will is definitely safe. He's through to Q3. Here comes Ads, and he goes 8th fastest. Zakaria misses out on Q3 by an 1/8 of a second. So an 1/8 of a second, Zakaria misses out on Q3. Will makes it into Q3. Tadpole survives into Q3. Ads gets his way in as well. Well, so much for my prediction on Zakaria getting something into Q3. So, top 3, it is TB, Boss Cookie, and Flaw to make up the top 3. And the top 4 just separated by 3/4 of a tenth. So, into Q3. Well, now comes my next prediction. Who do I think is going to be the top 3 once Q3 is over?
Well, I'm going to be flat out honest. Pole is going to be TB. TB is getting pole position. There's no doubt. He was almost half a second clear in Q1. He was fastest in Q2 by only 400ths, but still top of the board. So I think TB's got what he's got. So yeah, I think TB is definitely going to be pole position. As for the rest of it, I think I'm going to go exact here, but no offense to him, I think Reese is actually going to be P3. But as who I think is going to get P2, I'm leaning towards this man, Boss Cookie. I think Boss Cookie is going to be on the front row. I mean, Boss Cookie in the front row on midfield equipment, it's doable. I mean, last season in Imola, he put an Alfa Romeo on the front row. So, if Boss Cookie is capable of putting an Alfa Romeo in the front row, imagine what he could do with the Aston Martin, especially since the Aston Martin is technically, in real life standards, is technically the second fastest car of the F1 grid. So, yeah, so I think TB, Boss Cookie, and Reese, that's your top three. So, let's see. Why don't we go on board with Boss Cookie for this Q3 lap? As he gets onto that power to rocket his way down to turn number 1 into the speed trap at about 202 miles an hour into the first braking zone, turns 1 and 2 down to DRS zone number 1, rockets his way down into turn number 3, nice and easy on that throttle input, just easing it off in the 4, now off up into turn 5, nice and smooth, little notion on the curbs, through 6 and 7. Now rampaging his way down into turn number 8, into DRS zone number 2. Getting the RPMs nice and high, getting the speed up and high. Slightly slower than the others in the past. 201 through the fast chicane. Nice up in the 6th gear at the chicane. Rockets his way down, getting close to 200 miles an hour into the heavy braking zone of 13. Beatnik, 18.5 to be the benchmark. The Chiller responsible in 18.2. Flaw comes across the line now. And he's going to have to restart. I guess he invalidated someplace. But Boss Cookie roaring his way down the final DRS zone. And he puts it 449. That is 5 milliseconds slower than TB's time in Q2. And Cryptic goes faster than that, 17.401. TB is going to have to restart. He invalidated. Tadpole also invalidated. Flaw, again, invalidation. So Flaw is getting affected by invalidations. TB and Tadpole had their first invalidations. As working his way through next. But yeah, so, and Will, by the way, 17.945, 0.3 faster than the Chiller right now. Chiller backing up into the pit to start off, to get a new set, refuel up, and ready to go again. So, ads now. working off into the last couple of corners. And oh, he's abandoned. So he's going to be trying again. Reese working his way. Yeah, so currently right now, once the other guys get their laps in, Cookie is second and Cryptic on top right now, but probably not for long. Here comes Reese, and it is going to be a 17-2 for Reese. Not a bad lap there. And looks like Tadpole and TV have been validated again, so they're going to have to try yet again. So 6 drivers get lap times in, 3 having track limit issues, and a 4th having just a regular issue. So as we get ready to go, looks like Darius has come back out onto the circuit. Looks like Will is just recharging his batteries. I think he might go into the pits to refuel as Reese goes past. Here we go. So Will back in. There's the chiller. About to start his time lap. So just about 5 minutes left to go in queue number 3 of the first round. So for those that are just joining us, this is RPL Season 9, the season opener of the event, as the chiller goes in validation his lap. But anyways, yeah, so we're here in Australia for first round of season 9 on the F1 calendar. We've had quite a few things happen. We had basically almost the entirety of Alpine get eliminated in queue number 1. We had both Williams make it into queue number 2. Unfortunately, one of them just missed Q3. We have a Haas in Q3, which is Will. I gotta figure out when the last time we had a Haas get into Q3, but I think it was early in Season 8 was the last time we had a Haas get into Q number 3. But I'll have to take a look into that later on. We'll definitely have to get some stats on that, for sure. Anyways, so as looks like Cookie is coming back out onto the circuit. So here we go. So Cookie is back out, currently 3rd fastest of Q3. Only 2 tenths behind Reese in the timetables. TV is back out onto the track. Has yet to set a lap. Had 2 straight invalidations. Basically similar to how Checo was in Austria qualifying yesterday. Dealing with multiple invalidations. Reese is back out on track. Cryptic back out. Let's see what Cookie is capable of doing. Can he improve that fast time he had? 17.449. Like I said, this lap he did is about 5 milliseconds slower than TB's Q2 time. But Cryptic and Reese wound up smashing that apart. As we make our way through. into the last bit of qualifying. Just over 2 minutes left, and everyone is coming out. So expect traffic. And looks like Cookie has backed off. Yeah, Cookie has backed off. So I think he made a mistake somewhere in that early stage and has bailed off and decided to wait. Meanwhile, TB off on his time lap as he heads down. Now, like I said, now TB has not set a lap yet, so he has the capability of doing a fast lap. Got a little loose at a 6. Looks like we had trouble in... Well, that's a slow car. That's Ads going wide, letting the faster cars through. But anyways, here comes TB. Down through the fast chicane. He's got Flaw right behind him. Yep, there he is, just popping up on the screen. Flaw in the Alpine on an out lap. Let's see what kind of a time TB is going to pull off. Is there a possibility we may see a time go below 1 minute 17? Is it possible? Well, it looks like no, because TB looks like he had a problem someplace, because he is currently the slowest, 21.4. These guys are just starting up their time lapse. 25 seconds left. Reese has gone back in. He is validated despite being nearly a 1/10 of a second up. Cryptic has invalidated too. And looks like he's going to make it in time to get a final lap started. So first up is going to be Darius. Let's see what time lap can Darius provide. Can he put a challenge to the Red Bulls? As he comes across the line, 17.039. That I did not expect. Will has gone in. He's backed off. Cookie invalidates, so he is out. Ads next. Ads coming across the line, and it is 18.9. That's only 7th fastest. So that's unfortunate for him. Boss Cookie is going to stay in the 4th spot. Here comes Beatnik across the line, and it is 5th fastest. Now that comes down to TB, Temple, and Flaw. Here comes TB coming across the line, and he just misses out on pole by 0.07 of a second. Flaw goes 6th fastest, 17.6. Let's see what Temple's got as he rockets down the line, and the time is going to be 18.9. That's only 9th fastest for Tadpole. But the Chiller, shocking us all, puts that car on pole position. So Darius pulls off an upset and wins pole position, and Tadpole had a snap somewhere. That's why his time was that rough. But there it is. So Darius on pole, TB second, and Cryptic just stole 3rd from Reese. So one car of the big 3 in the top 3. Did not expect that. So we'll get our lineup ready to go in a bit once we load in. So let's take a look at our grid. Oh boy, wet. Wet. Gotta love it. Inter tire for everybody. So let's go through the grid for this race. So we have Kieran and AFJ making up the backfield. These two Kieran had a server quality ban. AFJ crashed in Q1. Redfire and Jack are going to make up row number 9. These two were quick exits out of queue number 1. Lewis Piper missed Q2 by 1 millisecond. He's got Owen alongside him for company in row number 8. Fanflo crashed in Q2. He's going to be in 14th, and he's got Bourbon for company in 13th. Stenner missed out on Q3. He's got Sicario alongside for company, who Sicario, by the way, missed Q3 by just over a tenth of a second. Top 10, you have Ads and Tadpole making up the row number 5. Tadpole on a snap of oversteer in the last part of Q3. That's why he started that far down. Will, strong showing by him to put that Haas into Q number 3. Gets the 8th fastest in this group. He's got Beatnik alongside him in the 7th place position. Now we move into row number 3. It is Flawed. Put up a strong showing in Q1 and in Q2. Only mustered up 6th place in Q number 3. Boss Cookie, same thing. Top 3 in Q number 2. Top 5 in Q number 1. And was only 5th fastest in Q number 2. And Q3. Now into row number 2. Reese in fourth. Has strong showing in all 3 sections of qualifying. And we have Cryptic, TB, and the Chiller. And looks like the 5 lights come on. It is... is it coming on? Are we going? And looks like we're off and away and into a safety car immediately. Wow. So the lights came on and we're into an immediate safety car. Alright, so we will be back in just a few minutes. We are restarting the session because it is glitched.
This is your garage. As you play F1, upgrades are split into car parts and team members. Team members require a contract in order to, as well as improving your tech level upgrade. Okay, new items you've acquired appear here. So we've got... So this is what we call the activity screen. It's basically... Okay, so feel free to explore, have a good look around, and when you are ready to get your journey going, just select...
Alright, so we are resuming. Alright, so back at it again. Let's try this again. Let's just take a look. Make sure everybody's in position. Yep, everybody is good. Okay, so everybody is good. So if the safety car appears, most likely then we're gonna have to, we'll just go with it. And Fan Flow has been booted out. So he'll probably get disqualified for another session. We're just waiting on things to get going. Well, unfortunately on the streamers end we don't have a countdown timer, so we don't know when people are going to be going. But anyway, so we already mentioned the grid last time, so there we go. 5 lights come on, and the safety car is immediately deployed. Oh, no, it didn't come out. Okay, lights out, and away we go. And looks like the Chiller gets away really well as they head down into turn number 1. As Cryptic is challenging TB already. Little contact. TB goes a little bit wide. And, whoa, we have a red flag immediately. Alright, so, well, we just had a red flag, so looks like we're back at it, and dry conditions. So, the Chiller is leading the way, TB right behind, Reason's third, Cryptic down in 4, Cookie 5, Floss 6. As the cars are just worn on about and everything. And it looks like TB is already deciding to use as much ERS as possible to try to get past the Chiller as he's looking on down the inside into the chicane, but backs out at the last possible second. DeChiller goes wide, and TB takes the lead. As they head down into 11 now. As the cars head down to turn 11, TB takes the lead, and that is it for there. Anyways, here goes Tadpole challenging Zakaria for the 9th place position. Looks like Tadpole lost a couple spots out of the gate, and as they head to complete what was initially the first lap, it is TB, DeChiller, Reese, Cryptic, Boss Cookie, Flaw, Beatnik, Will, Zakaria, and Tadpole. Rest of the grid, it looks like we have an incident. That is Kieran. Oh, Kieran's in the pits. The rest of the grid, it is Ads, Owen, Jack, Bourbon. Well, Bourbon and AFJ are battling it out for there. And it looks like, and we have a safety car. Fat Flow has crashed in turn 2. And that is the end of, that is one lap done there. So that is a single lap, and that is it. So safety car out already after a red flag. Fat Flow out of the event. But anyway, so TB will kick off as leader, DeChiller second, Reese third, Cryptic 4, Boss Cookie 5, Floss 6, Beatnik 7, Will 8, Tadpole 9, and Zakaria in 10th. And then the rest of this Ads, Owen, Jack, AFJ, Bourbon, Stenner, Lewis Piper, Red Fire, and Kieran to round out the field. Looks like Bourbon and Stenner are heading into the pits. So, everybody has done their stop under that red flag condition, and here it is. So basically from Red Fire all the way to basically everybody but Beatnik is on the medium compound tire. Beatnik's opted for the soft compound tire. Meanwhile, Kieran, Bourbon, and Stenner, they just want to put it onto the hard compound tire. So looking at the biggest movers and shakers right now, currently the top 2 biggest movers right now is Alex Fox and Jack, moving up 5 and 4 places respectively. AFJ started 19th, Jack started in 17th, and the biggest loser right now is Stenner. Started 12th, down in 18th. Alright, so safety car will probably be coming in this next lap. This lap or next lap. The safety car is in. And let's see how the Chiller will respond to TB. As we get ready, resume. See how the Chiller responds. Wait in. I think TB's gonna bolt right here. No, he's not. He's not bolting yet. There he goes. Bolts out of the final corner. We're off and away. The Chiller does respond well to the restart as more cars are gambling around into position, and off they head down into turn number 2. And TB leads the way. And it looks like Jack has gone for a spin. AFJ involved too. Jack and AFJ have gone for a spin. Multiple cars vying up for positions. Tadpole battling Will for the 8th position. He gets just ahead. Nicks his way in there. Up ahead, there's Flaw. Eyeing up Beatnik. Let's go on board with Flaw. Actually, let's go back up front. Three-way fight, contact between the Chiller and TB, and the Chiller muscles his way into the lead. The Chiller muscles his way into the lead, but I don't think TB's willing to give it up just yet as he goes down the inside into turn 11. Gets too ambitious. Reese takes evasive action. The Chiller takes the lead back. Reese slides up in the second. But they switch right back. The Red Bulls are actually coming close together. Oh, contact! Contact between the 2 Red Bulls. And Reese gets up and ahead into second place. TB has to fall to 3rd for right now. My goodness. The Chiller muscled his way past TB as they head into there. Whoa, Reese gets a little slip. And there's Cryptic saying, oh, I'll take advantage of that. Thank you very much. I will move up into 3rd. And who's the tag that whales? Who's the tail that wags the dog? That's Boss Cookie deciding, yep, I'll follow Cryptic and take 4th from you. He's fighting Reese in the 4th, and he does so. Reese plummets down into 5th place. So contact with his teammate. And Reese winds up suffering and falls into 5th. TB loses 1.5 seconds over the Chiller. Meanwhile, Flaw chasing down Reese now as they head down the chicane into turn 11 now. Looks like Reese looking to sneak a peek on Boss Cookie, but didn't seem to chance it. So he's gonna have to wait there a little further back. Looks like Kieran has lost a bunch of positions. I think he must have had an incident somewhere, but he was in the 12th place spot. Now he's plummeted down to the 15th position. DRS now enabled. Tadpole, by the way, chasing down Beatnik to try to get himself into 7th place. Tadpole had not a great qualifying, to say the least. Managed to get himself 9th place in that field. And Flaw, by the way, just got himself into the penalty club. So Flaw, Kieran, and AFJ are in the penalty club. It looks like, I think Flaw got it on the exit of turn number 2, by the looks of it. As we're just monitoring some of the drivers here. Looks like we go on with Dick as he's got TV right ahead. Looking behind, there's Boss Cookie being haunted by Reese. And Bourbon and Red Fire battling it out for the 12th place position, just seeing that on our screens. Tadpole vying up Beatnik for the 7th place spot. Can Reese muscle his way past Boss Cookie? No, he cannot. However, Tadpole does get past Beatnik into turn number 11, but Beatnik fighting back as they head into the turn 12. And Tadpole does manage to keep it. A little slip and slide. Oh boy. Well, slipping and sliding caused Will to inadvertently spin Beatnik out. I mean, to be fair, both Tadpole and Beatnik were slipping and sliding, and a VSC deployed because of it. I mean, and to be fair, Will had nowhere to go. Because Beatnik and Tadpole were both slipping and sliding. He didn't anticipate it, and Will, unfortunately, spun Beatnik out. I mean, if Will winds up getting penalized for that, I think that's a bit unfair in truth. Because we did see it. Beatnik was slipping and sliding, same with Tadpole, and Will just didn't have anywhere to go. He couldn't, because he had he couldn't move right because he'd go off the track, and he couldn't go left because Ads was there. But anyways, so VSC out on deck. As these drivers are getting back into it, we're back underway. Looks like Ads might decide to get advantage on Will here as he roars down into there. A little contact between the two. But Will keeps the Alpha Tauri back. Meanwhile, look, whoa. Looks like we had trouble in the back. That was Stenner and Kieran coming together. And look who's also in 10th place. Zakaria. Now, Zakaria just missed out on Q3 earlier by just over 1/10 of a second. And he's hanging out in the points right now in 10th place. And the Chiller into the penalty club. Track limit warnings. And that was in turn number 2. Oh, and now into the penalty club as well. Looks like Cryptic is now like a shark smelling blood. He sees the Chiller vulnerable. He's looking to make it stick as Kieran gets his second track limit penalty. As they head down into the chicane, but TV is too far back. Meanwhile, Reese might be eyeing Boss Cookie for the 4th place spot. And a little wiggle woggle out of turn 11, out of turn 10, but just not close enough to make it happen. Oh, it looks like Ads has gone for a spin in the chicane, and he has come back out onto this track, and he's plummeted all the way down into the 16th position. So Ads goes off. Probably went wide and off in the chicane, and now he is plummeted multiple spots because I believe he was like 8th at that point, battling Will. So unfortunately, that's the end. That's unfortunate for Ads right now. Meanwhile, Red Fire dealing with Zakaria right now. That's the battle for the last point of the race. Meanwhile, back up front, we have a fight by the looks of it. TB eyeballing the Chiller. These two are much, much closer as they head into turn 6 and 7. It looks like TB may eye for a chance into turn 8, and into turn 9 and 10 as he heads down to DRS straight. This Red Bull is just rocketing into there, and TB takes the lead, but the Chiller is going to stay with him. Is he going to vie for a shot? No, he's not going to vie for a shot. TB takes the lead back, but the Chiller stays on form and stays with them. Excuse me. Meanwhile, Reese right behind Boss Cookie right now. Can Reese at least try to get past the Aston Martin? He's got a better exit this time, and he does so, and he gets into the 4th place position. Meanwhile, Cryptic hangs very close to the Chiller and might vie for a shot for the 2nd place spot. Meanwhile, Bourbon and Will switch positions. Bourbon up into 8th place, and Red Fire into the penalty club. AFJ gets his 2nd penalty. go. And, man, literally the top 5 are so close together. I mean, literally the top 5 is basically separated, I think, by just over 2.5 seconds. But anyway, Tachiller just retakes the lead from TB. Very smart stuff by him. Look at the lead. 1.8 seconds separate the top 5. That's how close this racing is between these top 5 cars. I mean, literally, you got 5 of the very best drivers in this league battling it out. You have Boss Cookie, a hopeful, and a midfield favorite. You have Cryptic hanging out there as well. DeChiller is bailed to the pits. TB, the defending champion. Reese, last season's runner-up, looking to come out of the shadows and win a title. And Darius, the season 1 champion, looking to reclaim lost glory. I mean, literally, if you're looking at the F1 Tier 1 champions, we have literally 3 in this field. You got TV, the defending champion, DeChiller, the season 1 champion, and you have Will, the season 2 champion. The only 2 champions not here is Luke, the season 3 through 5 champion, and Scyther, the season 6 and 7 champion. And Cryptic takes the lead from TB. Right on the outside as they head down into the chicane. And Cryptic decides to run off with it. Oh yeah, I'll go for a shot for the lead myself. I'll run off, thank you very much. And the Chiller rejoined the field. He is in the 11th place spot, but very close behind. As Stenner moves out of the way to let the Chiller back into the points. The Chiller harassing AFJ to get into 9th place. And he does so. So the Chiller up in the 9th, but let's see. I wonder if the Chiller's pit is gonna make Red Bull and Mercedes think, should I pit? Maybe should I cover him off? I don't know. But anyways, TB leading the charge. Now we did initially start with wet conditions. This is mixed, so I don't think these guys are going to be required to use 2 different tire compounds. Thing is, I don't know if these medium tires can go the rest of the entire length of the race on that one set. There's 26 laps, I think. I don't know if those medium tires can do it. Well, meanwhile, while we're keeping an eye on that, Cryptic just retakes the lead from TB. Just catching it on our screens. These 2 are still fighting it out. Cryptic just putting on a storming house here as they head down into turn 11, and Cryptic still stays ahead. I do wonder, are these guys going to come? Are these guys going to come in for stops eventually? Well, looks like TB and Cryptic are going in. So looks like Cryptic responded to TB. As literally we have the flash out on this field, on this group, and as they come out, and yeah, Cryptic just gets ahead. Let's see if DeChiller can beat them both. DeChiller sets the fastest lap, and he does get ahead. So DeChiller up into 5th place. TB and Cryptic are 8th and 9th respectively. So they got Zakaria and Kieran to get past. Owen back into the penalty box. But Reese has the lead from Boss Cookie. Meanwhile, look at this fight here. Currently, right now, 3rd, it is Will and DeChiller, Will and Bourbon. So Will and Bourbon looking to battle it out as Piper's back in the pit, back in the penalty club. Flaw clears Stenner to get into 10th place. And DeChiller back in the penalty box again. 6 seconds now. 6 seconds. So looking at it here, 6 for DeChiller. Same goes with Kieran as Will moves over. Owen, AFJ, they're at 6. And then we have Zakaria, Floss, Stenner, Lewis Piper, Ads, and Red Fire all with 3. As AFJ just goes into 9 now. Reese into the pits. And DeChiller clears past Bourbon and up into 2nd. Now just about 10 seconds to get past. Now let's see what TB and Cryptic are capable of. Now Reese has come back out. He is sitting in the 9th place position. And TB gets past Cryptic on the outside of 4 to go into 6th position. Now he has Kieran ahead. Will into the penalty box now. As these drivers are just thundering along to get themselves into positions here as TB gets past Kieran with ease and up into 5th. And Kieran back in the penalty box again. Now let's see what Will is going to do. Now TB has Will to deal with. And Tadpole's now in the penalty box. Cryptic passes Kieran. Let's see. Boss Cookie is opted to stay out, and looks like Will has decided to go in. So now that means TB has to deal with Bourbon. Now Bourbon is probably just going to be nice and just let TB through and put him up into the 3rd place position. Now Bourbon is on the hard compound tire, so he is capable of going the entire race, the rest of this race, on that compound. Meanwhile, and Beatnik's now in the penalty club. Literally, everyone's just getting themselves into penalty clubs right now. So the Chiller right now, with that 6 seconds, he's currently right now, if the race ended, will be in 4th position right now, as he is currently 4 seconds ahead of Bourbon and 4.3 seconds clear of TB. And TB rockets past Bourbon, courtesy of that DRS. Now TB gets let loose to chase the Chiller down. Now in the Chiller's case, he's gonna have to try to get at least 2 seconds gap over to get it done. And it looks like, oh, we have trouble. That's Reese. Reese has gone for a spin, and Flaw's there too. So Reese and Flaw have come together in turn 12. That's not good for Reese. But Reese falls to 7th, and Kieran into 6th. It looks like Cryptic has cleared Bourbon into turn 1 to get himself into 4th. Currently at this moment right now, DeChiller is going to fall to 4th because he is right now 3.9 seconds ahead of TB and 5.5 seconds clear Cryptic. Let's see what battles is up next. Well, we got Reese stuck in a Alpine sandwich. He's got Flaw right behind. He's got Kieran up ahead, and Reese has gone past. So Kieran switches back to 8th. There's Flaw right behind Reese. And let's see who's gonna blink first. Let's see who's gonna get the better exit. Looks like Reese had the better. Alex Fox clears Beatnik up into 10th place. And Boss Cookie has gone into the pits. And we are going to have... And DeChiller is going to take the lead back. But he's got some work to do. 2.9 seconds separate DeChiller from TB. And still 5.5 seconds separates him and Cryptic. So right now, this is going to put DeChiller right now in 3rd. As Boss Cookie has gone into the penalty box. I think he did it right at exit in turn 1. As there's Flaw right down on the outside. And Boss Cookie holding him back. But Boss Cookie stays in 5th place. Flom is going to have to try again, figure out a new plan to get past that Aston Martin car. So currently at the moment, we have TB chasing down to Chiller. We are going to be approaching lap 20 of 29. So we're going to have 10 laps left to go in this Grand Prix. And right now, the Chiller is looking at falling into the 3rd place position. Now that can change if Cryptic or TB get themselves into the penalty box. I don't know how many warnings Cryptic and TB have, but if I had to safely guess, I'm gonna say one of them's got at least 1, and the other's got 2. Let's take a quick gander. So TB, he does have 1, as said, and Cryptic, yeah, Cryptic's got 2. Wow, I am psychic. I am mind blown. Anyways, so looks like TB has gained himself up into the Chiller right now, as he is within DRS range as of right now. So at the moment, right now, the Chiller 0.6 ahead of TB, 4.4 seconds clear of Cryptic, and almost 8 seconds ahead of Reese. As we come up, DRS now wide open. As TB looking down the inside, will he make the shot? No, he's gonna wait. He's waiting on the Chiller to make a mistake, and he does so. And it looks like Boss Cookie, by the way, just cleared Reese to get in the 4th. TB retakes the lead. TB retakes the lead, and Boss Cookie up into the 4th place position. Unfortunately, Boss Cookie has that penalty on him, so he's gonna have to pull a gap to keep that 4th place. And by the way, Reese 1.2 seconds behind the Chiller, as the Chiller is actually fighting back and gets the lead back. Chiller with that DRS, getting back ahead and leading again, but literally, in order for him to beat TB, he's got to outsmart TB or trick him into mistakes. That's literally the only way you can outdo TB, is to trick him into mistakes, or that's it, just trick him into mistakes. It was done at the initial start. Where you can trick it out. Oh, Cryptic's in the penalty box. That's going to put Reese up in the 3rd right now. So the Chiller should be okay to keep it. Should be okay to keep 2nd. Yeah, the Chiller's okay to keep 2nd right now. But he might just miss it to Reese though. So we're looking at Red Bull 1-2 right now, as TB going down to get the shot, get the lead back, as they're fighting as they head to the chicane. But TB gets ahead. So TB gets ahead in the chicane, and he leads the way as they head into the next corners. So TB leads the charge, so the Chiller is going to have to try to coax TB into a mistake and get him into the penalty box. That's basically what the Chiller is going to have to think. He's going to have to do that. And Tadpole has gone around. Tadpole's having problems. Tadpole was in the 6th place spot, now plummeted down to 9th. And Boss Cookie clears Cryptic to take 3rd. Well, technically fourth because there's Reese right behind. On board with Reese. There's the Mercedes right ahead. Aston Martin right ahead. These guys head down into turn 5. A little slip up. A little slip over by Reese, but keeps in control. So far, things are looking pretty good. We've had one DNF so far, that being Fatflow on lap number 5. On lap number 4 in this race. So far, everybody's keeping it up. Oh my goodness! Boss Cookie goes wide! Oh my god, Boss Cookie probably is going to need a new suit. After that scare, that was very scary to see. Just snapped off in turn 9, goes wide into the gravel in 10. Unfortunately, Boss Cookie now falls to 5th place. Well, my goodness, that was super scary to watch right there on Reese's onboard. But Tadpole, by the way, is recovering. Does get 9th back from Will. Meanwhile, Cryptic is having to deal with Reese. 3 wide into turn 3. Well, almost 3 wide, but Boss Cookie decides to back off. Whoa, Lord. Oh, boy. Hello. Smack, bang, boom. Literally smack, bang, boom. Tadpole, not Tadpole, Cryptic falls to 5th. Reese is back in the 4th, and Boss Cookie back in there. Looks like we had trouble. That is Owen gone for a spin in the penultimate corner. As AFJ gets into the 7th place spot, Kieran back in the penalty box again, and Reese takes 3rd place. Tadpole penalty. Goodness, look at this. Everybody's got penalties except for the Red Bulls and Jack. Literally, the Red Bulls and Jack are the only ones with no penalties. Everybody else has them. Anyways, as we move on forward, looks like TB has created a buffer 1.8 seconds over the Chiller. So unfortunately, that means the Chiller is going to settle for 2nd at this moment. It's going to settle for 2nd unless he can pull away from Reese here. He's got 6 seconds, so he's got to pull at least a 1.4 second gap over Reese. Now with Boss Cookie and Cryptic, if they keep up the pressure, they could make that happen. Meanwhile, AFJ gets clear of Kieran into turn number 3. And that puts Kieran down into 7th. What does he have for penalties? 12. Jesus. Man, I don't even know what the grid's going to be like in the midfield. It looks like Ads just got himself another penalty. Well, let's go towards the back. We have Beatnik battling Will for 11th. There's Bourbon harassing Tadpole for the 9th place spot. And Bourbon does get clear. Bourbon up in the 9th. Now looks like the Alpines are just had enough with AFJ. And Kieran just trying to get into his head, but AFJ is like, I ain't gonna be like that. Well, let's see. Boss Cookie still with Reese. Cryptic right in tow. Law switches with Kieran. So Flaw up in the 7th. But like I said, I don't even know where these guys are gonna wind up finishing due to all the penalties that we got here. I mean, look at all this. I mean, literally, look at all this. I mean, Tadpole is probably going to be going up into... Tadpole's going to go in the 7th by the looks of it. Bourbon's going in the... No. Bourbon's going in the 6th. Will's going to go 7th. Yeah, I have no idea where these guys are going to be, but it's like... it's like so much. Like, I mean, literally, these guys here are going to be knocked out of the points. No doubt. Speaking of knocked out of the points, Tadpole's knocked out of the points. So Boss Cookie still chasing Reese down. Reese is gaining on the Chiller with just about a lap, just under 2 to go. Anything's possible. Looks like we have a crash in turn number 6. That is Owen. STV. There is Owen right there. Goes a lap down. Looks like Boss Cookie is right on with Reese. Can he eye for a shot to attack? He's just not close enough. Not close enough to the chicane. But looks like maybe into turn 11. As TB coming out of the last couple of corners. He's going to start the final lap very shortly. Meanwhile, Flaw still on AFJ. Try to get by. So final lap underway as fights are all over here. And, well, there goes Tadpole off into the wall after collision, I think, with Beatnik. Lap underway here in Australia. And as we move on and forward up, Boss Cookie trying to put pressure on Reese, but just can't seem to get it done. And speaking of which, Boss Cookie is actually gonna swipe third. Yeah, he's gonna swipe third from the Chiller. Anyways, he had to deal with quite a lot of competition from the Chiller and even his own teammate. But as he rounds out the final corner, he is going to put a stomp on the start of Season 9. TB claims victory in Australia. The Chiller will cross in second, but Reese will take second, Boss Cookie for third, and Cryptic steals fourth just barely. The Chiller will have to settle for fifth. Now let's see what happens with this gangle of cars. So AFJ will cross in sixth. Floss Set will cross 7. Here comes Bourbon. He will take 6th. Will goes to 7th. AFJ 8. Zakaria 9. And Flaw into 10th place. So AFJ just manages to keep into the points. And same with Flaw. But Kieran, though, dumped to 13th. So that is the end of that. Wow, so a Red Bull 1-2 via penalties. Boss Cookie, the Aston Martin, on the podium. So there it is, TB the winner, Reese second, and Boss Cookie to round it out for the third place spot. And TB enjoying that win. And yeah, TB kicking it off strong for the season. Everybody's celebrating it off. Wowee. So what a start. What a start, to say the least. So there it is. So TB is the winner. So TB is the winner. Reese second. Boss Cookie is third with the fastest lap, by the way. Cryptic 4, DeChiller 5, Bourbon 6, Will, by the way, managing for 7th, AFJ in 8th, Zakaria 9, and Flaw rounds out the points in 10th place. The rest of it is Jack, Kieran, Stenner, Lewis Piper, Tadpole, Ads, Red Fire, and then the DNS of Beatnik, Owen, and Fanflow. So that is going to end the stream for today. So, given the issues that happened, if the RPL season does continue, here's what we got going on. So Friday, the F1 Tier 2 drivers will be racing around the streets of Monte Carlo in Monaco. F2 next Saturday will be racing in Vegas, the new Vegas track. So that will be interesting to see there. And the F1 drivers will be racing around the streets of Jeddah for round 2 of the championship. So, and last thing before I head off, who do I think is going to be driver of the day? Well, I think it's one of two people. And this is surely mainly because of their performances and how well they managed to do under pressure. Driver of the day is Boss Cookie, performing really well in qualifying, keeping a cool head and finishing in the 3rd place spot via post-race penalties. But the other driver that's also going to get driver of the day honors is Will, finishing off in the 7th place position for him and having a good qualifying pace in the entirety of the qualifying session. So, from RPL Streams, this is Ironwolf saying good night. Have a good one.